Why is it that a lot of the beautiful women we see in Kampala today seem to be single? And, they always keep trying to argue with us that it's just them living their best life. We fight about this online. They keep saying it is by choice. They don't need no man. And you're like, wait, why? Why is it the beautiful ones that seem to want no man or need no man? And yet every other type of woman, the average looking, the basic looking, or even the ugly, are quite happy to be in the company of men. What's going on here?
Are you sure they are happy? Because there is a
They
girl,
are happy.
There is a
They
girl,
love.
There is a girl that would give anything to have a guy say, hi, hello, can I take you out? And maybe those are the girls you see in relationships and you think they're happy, but because no one was coming their way, so the first guy that came their way, they said yes.
Wait, so do you think because men are intimidated by women that are beautiful?
Yes.
So we just assume she's taken, so we leave her alone?
I'll be honest, and I will use myself as an example. I go out. I don't go out a lot, but I go out. And there are many times I go out and no one says hi to me. No one says anything to me. Not because I am there to, get hits, to get, men hitting on me, but
just a moment.
It can happen.
Hold on, pause. Is this you saying, but wait, I'm beautiful, but they don't talk to me? What's wrong?
I'm not saying they never talk to me.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying there are many times I go out
right.
and no one talks to me. And I was answering your question of men are intimidated. Then it's not that they fear the beautiful girls.
It sounds like you're trying to tell us you're a beautiful woman.
I am a beautiful
woman. My goodness, you're not shy to say that. What happened to humility? Shouldn't you be humble about it?
You see what you're doing? You want me to pretend that I don't know who I am. I know that I am beautiful. I know I'm intelligent. But I also know that I don't get hit on every time. And it's not because it is my fault. And it's not even because it's the men's fault. Men can look at me and even without seeing a wedding ring on my finger, just assume that I am taken. And sometimes beautiful women give off this vibe of I am not available.
I think there's two things. I mean, there's on one hand, the concern that you might already be taken, but another overriding factor is beautiful women are assumed to be high maintenance.
Yes.
Meaning, if I met you, a woman like you, in a club or a bar, you probably would require me to spend a significant amount of money to entertain you that night, to buy you drinks and to buy you...
Yeah, so
do you know what I mean?
This. You walk into a bar, not a cheap bar, and, any bar, depending on where this person likes to sit. And sometimes even your choice of drinks is going to chase away certain guys. The guy has come to drink like 5 pints of beer. He finds you on a glass of wine, or you have a bottle of wine on the table. He's like, this one I'll not handle.
Exactly.
Not because he's broke, but because he's like, if she's doing this, what else is she doing that I can't
Yeah, so
afford?
a lot of guys feel more comfortable around, I don't know, the Navuga from the neighborhood.
Plain Jane.
Plain Jane. Yeah, you can sit with her, eat a Rolex, and she'll be cool. She'll roll with you.
But you see, people...
But a beautiful olive, sexy in the club. I'm like, that's what.
But you see, people put so much emphasis on the beauty and overlook other things. I could be interesting. I could be good with conversation. But because you've not given me the benefit of doubt, you think I'm high maintenance just by the way I'm dressed and what I'm drinking. You've not come close to me to talk to me, to get to know, oh, by the way, she's fun. Actually, she's not, like high up on her beauty.
Actually, olive is quite affordable. Yes, you told us yesterday you drink Guinness.
Fatboy.
So you just need to buy a few Guinnesses and you're good.
I said I don't like beer, but if I must, I drink Guinness.
There you go.
I said, no.
So if you meet Olive in a bar, just buy her Guinness and
it depends.
you're good to go.
Have you found me drinking Guinness? That's the question.
No, but you said if you must, then you will take
If I must,
Guinness.
and that's the thing. It's rarely that I must drink Guinness.
Oh, so if a man met you in a bar and offered you Guinness, you'd say no?
If you found me not drinking Guinness, why are you buying me Guinness? The one thing I don't do is you finding me drinking Guinness and because you've come, then I switch to other things. No.
Wow.
I'll stay on what I was drinking because I don't want you to have a chip on your shoulder saying, oh, when I came in, she ordered for whiskey. No.
I'm already having a headache. Just having this conversation.
Why?
You're such a complicated woman.
I'm not
And that's another reason. Men fear approaching beautiful women because we think you're complicated.
You fear approaching beautiful women because they have standards.
There you go. Which equals they're complicated.
You see, you guys don't have
Pretty
standards
much.
sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you find... And when okay, I will scratch that. Maybe you guys have standards, but the thing is this. Usually men don't like a woman that can speak her mind, a woman that knows her stuff, a woman that can
But why would we
ground.
want a woman for that purpose?
You just want someone who is supposed to be talked at, not to, like, just be there as a
but let me tell you, because and people always say to me, but are you intimidated by strong women and intelligent women? I say no. I love hanging out with them. Nothing excites me more than going to a party or an event or a function and just slugging it out verbally, shouting at each other and arguing. But when I go home, I need my peace.
And
so that's the thing. So such people, I will leave them behind at the party, at the conference, at the office, at the bar, whatever. But in my home, I need someone who is a bit more chill and more easygoing.
But Fatboy, I don't
need a boss lady.
I have never taken you for a coward, because if you say that because a woman can speak her mind, then she's gonna take away your peace, I feel like your lenses are kind of low, because I can be knowledgeable, I can be intelligent, and I can still be a peaceful person. No one said that being knowledgeable, intelligent means that you're going to be argumentative or problematic.
Well, I like powerful women.
Because the kind of woman...
That's why I employ them. They're good for business.
You're a brilliant man, and you like brilliant women.
Yes.
But the kind of woman you
want them to work for me.
Your peace is a bimbo. She does not have anything going on in her brain.
That's not true.
That would be so boring for you.
That's not true. Actually, in my opinion, the woman who is actually smart understands and respects leadership and understands her role in my life. She knows, you know what? This guy doesn't need me to stress him. Let me be easy. It's the chick who isn't too sharp, who has read a few books, who decides that everything has to turn into an argument.
So you want a bimbo?
No. What I want is a silent weapon. Someone who is brimming with her ideas and ways of looking at the world, but isn't ready to just shove it in my face at every turn. Do you understand?
So let me ask you, when you say you watch these World War movies and, these technological things, if you met a girl that does those things, wouldn't you want to have a conversation on those, and, she weighs in, you weigh in, you keep going back and forth. Isn't that fun?
Isn't that what I said?
No, but you're saying that you don't need an argumentative person, because as you watch those things
in my
together,
house. I said in my house.
Oh, God.
In my company, yes, I want you. I want to hire you. I'll give you a job.
Oh, God.
I want you to make me money. You're useful to me. But not in my home.
Wow.
In my home, I don't need you.
I have a solution for you, Fatboy.
What's that?
If you ever decide that you don't want to be old and alone, just get a girl that is not too sharp in the ways of the world, not so well read, and you'll be a happy man.
You're missing the point.
I'm not.
You see, because I believe that true wisdom for a woman lies in just understanding the dynamics of reality. A woman who is wise can just look at me and know, okay, you know what? This guy is the man, and he knows his stuff, and I'm not going to get in his way too much.
So even if I know my stuff, I should shut up?
No.
Give him peace?
No, okay. So here's how I look at it. Share your suggestions. Like, if you think that a certain thing can be done a different way, suggest it to him. And then if he decides otherwise, you don't argue. You do not argue. It's kind of like, and this is why people lose their way. Marriage is called an institution for a reason. An institution is like a business, a company, an association, a formal association. There has to be hierarchy. In the same way that an employee can come to me and say, hey, I think we can do this thing this way. What do you think? Now, this employee understands that as he or she is making the suggestion, that the final decision on that rests with me. And so that if I say, okay, I'll think about it, then this person just walks away because they've done their part. If I decide to choose a different course of action, he or she doesn't get to say, or doesn't get to start arguing with me about it.
So let me ask,
do you understand?
What happens when the decision you take actually ends up backfiring, and you realize that her suggestion would actually have worked for you, do you come back and say, I should have listened?
That's okay. That's part of the process.
And it is because of that attitude that some men have made bad decisions that have taken the entire family into the ground.
Okay, look, obviously as men, we have egos. So if our woman says, honey, maybe you should try doing it this way, and we insist and doing it our way, and our way backfires, the next time she suggests, guess what? We shall listen. Doesn't mean she should argue. She should keep, what I mean is the river of suggestions needs to keep flowing, but she has to entrust you with the decision that has to be made.
No, we actually
get it.
We entrust you with the decision
because
we all know
and you do not challenge it.
We all know that a man has to lead, but if you're making stupid decisions, I'm going to challenge you.
That's the problem.
Why?
That's the problem.
Decisions
it's like
are going to take us back to the
that's
village.
the problem, because
the decisions are running us
and
into
that's
the
why
mud.
that's why you women of today do not understand marriage. In just the same way, like I can be and there's a reason I'm comparing this to like business or corporate structure. You can be in a board meeting and your CEO has some ideas that are just completely nonsensical, okay? Now, you as the junior manager might present your reasons as to why you think your approach to the problem is the better one. But you see, your job stops at presenting your suggestion. And then you leave the CEO to deal with the consequences of not following your decision. And that is why he or she is the CEO. Because if he or she makes a decision and it fails, then they shoulder the responsibility of it. And the same is true for a family situation, is that you be sure to marry a man that you think you can entrust with the decision. If you're going to marry a man believing that you're going to have to constantly argue with him, then you've chosen the wrong man.
No, actually, you misunderstand me.
You've chosen a simp for a husband.
You misunderstand me. I am not saying that women should always be arguing with their men, because that takes away the peace in the marriage.
That's what you just said. But what if
I am saying that men should be humane enough, humble enough to recognize that they need to sit together with their wives and make certain decisions.
No, I disagree.
Because since you have used business as an example, I will also use business as an example. If you start a business with someone else, your partners, right?
That's the mistake you're making. We're not partners.
It means that
we are not partners.
Why are we called married? The couple. Why is the couple called married partners?
Who is the head of the house?
Come on, you are only cherry picking when you're
answer
the
the
head
question.
of the house.
Is the husband the head of the house?
Serves you.
Is the husband the head of the house? Yes or no?
Marriage is a partnership.
That's where you go wrong.
Marriage
it's
is
not.
No, that's where you go wrong, because you think it's a business
it's not.
that has Elon Musk at the top.
It is the
and
societies.
The employees below.
It is the societies that view marriage in an egalitarian fashion where the divorce rates are the highest. But the more traditional societies that understand the roles of marriage and who's in charge of a marriage, those ones, the marriages last very long.
But even when you have conversations with such people, you're going to realize that the man is not the beginning and the end. He's not the alpha and omega in the home.
He better be, because if he ain't, your marriage ain't gonna last.
You are the head, but you're not married to a sponge that just soaks in your bullshit.
You're missing my point.
You are wrong, and you're supposed to know when she weighs in and it makes sense.
Well, the reason why most divorces are happening today is because of an attitude like that, the one that you are showing us here. And so because most women are going to adopt it as they walk down the aisle, divorce is just inevitable, and you're going to see the rates of divorce continue to rise exponentially. And that's also okay. You make your choices. You lay your bed and you sleep in it. But I'm saying that if you want a successful marriage, seek out men that you feel are worthy of the respect, so that you can confer upon the decision to make decisions. And in supporting him, because, look, a man is not a robot. He can be the biggest egotist. But if with each passing decision that's made, he realizes that maybe your suggestion was better, if he has any wisdom, he will start to listen to your suggestions
After
a lot
he
more.
has made
But
a
it's
few
not.
too many.
But it's not
bad
about.
decisions.
It's not about you seizing control and insisting on
It is not
him
seizing
to
control.
listen to your
Okay,
suggestion.
maybe let me simply put it.
Offer
as we
the
close.
suggestion
Let me put it simply
for him to
as
consider.
we close. All I'm saying is that do not treat a marriage like a business, like you're Elon Musk at the top, and other people are
have
just
to.
supposed to follow
You
you
have
because
to.
you're the CEO.
That's what marriage is.
No, that's not how marriage
That's what marriage
works.
is. A husband is the CEO of the household.
And that's why many men are not getting married, because they don't understand how marriage works.
Are they complaining?
They are complaining because at the end of the day, they want young women they can manipulate to come wash for them over the weekend, clean their houses, because they cannot invest in something long term, because they know that they cannot run it like the way they run a weekend marriage.
So what I'm saying is, but you have to understand, in the long term, it's women who are going to suffer. The attitude that you are promulgating actually
How are
hurts
they
women.
going to suffer?
The advice I'm giving helps women.
How are they going to suffer?
They're going to suffer a life of loneliness.
Oh, and men are going to. you guys forget.
Men are okay. We're okay with
You
loneliness.
guys forget
We
that
can be lonely.
You think that
Men are lone wolves. We're
men-
used to it.
More men today are lonely because women today have standards and know their rights
Standards.
and make their money.
The new magic word, which just means
Yes, and men hate the word
Stubbornness.
standards because it takes away the ability to manipulate.
see, because the way I'm looking at this, is that I'm seeing a lot of women coming out of collapsed marriages and still on the lookout for more love and more opportunities for settling down and continuing to fail.
When these women come out of collapsed marriages, were they alone in the marriages? Because I believe on the other side,
Most divorces are initiated by women.
Yeah, but on the other side is another guy that is coming from a collapsed marriage. So it is what?
But
one for one.
who collapses the marriage? Who initiates divorce?
When
It's
I
women.
initiate a divorce, it means you have collapsed the marriage. It's not working. That's why I want out. Come on. Why do we blame
You're not giving men many good reasons to
I
want to get
am not-
married. Essentially, you're
and-
telling us that we're going to be relegated to a life of arguments.
No, men are not giving us good reason to want to stay married to them. Have you ever thought of that?
But you see, I go back to my original question: who suffers in the end?
No one suffers. I am not suffering.
Women are suffering.
No.
Where are the good? Where have the men gone?
No. If you meet a woman that is divorced and she has some good money of her own, women only suffer after divorce if a man takes off and is not taking care of his kids, which is really pathetic, because even after a marriage ends, children should be taken care of. It doesn't matter what happened between the parents.
Of course.
If a man is taking care of his kids, the woman is okay. We can live happily without getting married again.
I don't think so.
We can.
I don't think so.
We can. And if you
I have many divorcee friends.
and I do have divorcee friends. So it depends on where you're speaking
My
from.
goodness, there's too many of them on the dating apps. Tinder is just full of divorced women.
And why were you on Tinder?
Well, I mean, why not? I'm not married.
So the reason why you're on Tinder is the reason they're on Tinder.
Well, you see, the reasons, no, actually, it's quite different.
Why?
A lot of them are seeking for life partners. Seriously.
And a lot of the men.
And in their profiles, it says, looking for a serious man who isn't trying to play games. That's what they say.
But even men have profiles like that.
Oh, and you know that because you're on Tinder too?
Check for me. You will find me. If you don't find me, you just... I mean, it's my job to know things.
Okay,
Men
okay.
also have profiles that want serious partners.
All right, but really, just as a way forward, I think it's unfortunate where things are headed now. I expect to see more and more divorces. I would not want to prescribe to anyone any particular remedy for happiness. That is a journey you must take on your own. But it is really my opinion that if you wish to be happily married, like if you have decided that marriage is a thing you want to attempt to do, you have to understand that it is an institution which has a head. And if you're going in there thinking you're going to butt heads anytime you disagree on something, well, get ready to get divorced because it's definitely going to happen.